about families is they're always here when you want them and when you don't want them. Hello, welcome to another wonderful episode of Cinemadness, the podcast, Zoomcast. I am one of your three wonderful hosts. Of course, I am Roman. I am joined with my very lovely and captivating Allison. Allison, how you doing? You doing okay?
I'm captivating tonight.
Yes, absolutely. And on my right, I don't know where he'll show up on to you, the viewer, but I have the guy who actually was a stand-in for Whitney Houston in I can't remember the movie. Let's go.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Let's yep. That's Adam. Adam, how you doing?
Roman, I will always love you.
Oh, shucks. The Bodyguard. That's what I was going for, was The Bodyguard. And speaking of families, I have to my left, maybe the viewers right, we actually have my brother-in-law, a very talented man. He is a singer, he is a writer, he is an actor, he is my in-law, so he is not socially distant. This is my brother-in-law, Isaac Benjamin.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
How you guys doing?
Wow.
How are you?
Way to chime in there. Good to know that broadcasting school is really finally paying off. All right. Yeah. Can't throw one by me. All right. So let's go ahead and have a good time. We're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about families in cinema and talk a little bit about it. And then I think we're going to play a game and then we're going to have some fun. So when we talk about families,
We're not going to have fun before then.
No, the game is not going to be fun.
No.
fun.
Well, yeah. Adam makes the game, so it's going to be very interesting. But when we talk about families in cinema, why don't we go around and talk about what exactly that means to us? How about we go guest first, lady second, and then good-looking guy with a gray beard third? What do you think? Yeah. So Isaac Benjamin guy Isaac. Yes. Okay.
I think this was the signal of confirmation.
All right. Wonderful. Okay. Well, thank you. So soothing. Anyway, so when we mention cinema, families in cinema, what exactly does that mean to you? Like, what sticks in your mind?
For me, I guess from my experience of watching films that include family members and so forth, I think it's trying to captivate the audience, bring them into the family setting, whatever that may be, and allow them to kind of engage and not only be a part of that family, but also have that third person perspective where they can see the family's ups and downs and trials and tribulations and how they're going to kind of conquer that for the most part. That's my outlook on that.
All right. Very sharp outlook. Way to go. How about we go, Allison? Same question to you, ma'am.
I agree to all that. I also think that they want you to like the family, even if they're not necessarily good people. They want you to be engaged with them and almost like take a liking to at least one of the members of the family. Maybe you'll see yourself and or your own family in that group and kind of connect with them. So I think they want you to connect with the families and be like, oh, our family's just like them. Like celebrities, they're just like us. So I think they try and get you to connect with the family in the movies a lot.
Okay, excellent.
Is that like a form of empathy, like for the villain?
Yeah, empathy.
You know, something like that. You know how like normally in the villains they try to give you some kind of humanization to the villain so that you can kind of connect with the villain, empathize with them. So is that kind of like what you're mentioning, connecting that way? Okay, yeah.
And they failed a lot of times, and we'll discuss that later because I have a lot of issues with that. But I think that's what they try to do.
Okay. Good. Graybeard.
You know, it's like almost gone. You got me right after I did some trimming.
Did some manscaping.
Yeah. Not just the face, ladies. I don't know what else to say. You guys all said it all. Mostly the stuff Allison said, because people that listen or people that know me know I'm a big horror fan, and the horror families, they even though they're terrible people, they give you someone to, I don't want to say relate to because that sounds kind of horrible, but it's true. There's always some kind of relatable character in a family, and I think that's a kind of a cool dynamic to use in not just a straight off, family film or
Mhm.
Disney picture or something like that. So there
I
you go.
got a question for Adam, if that's okay.
No, that's not okay.
Okay, I'm gonna ask anyway. But I mean, being the fact that you love horror, because I have seen some of your your podcasts and you guys work before, and you have mentioned that in the past. I'm not a big horror fan, but I have seen some horror films. So in those instances, like you're talking, do you find like using the family content? Let's say something like Friday the 13th, where the connection you had, Jason, you had his mother,
Right.
or with Mike Myers. Halloween.
Keep going.
Okay.
You're doing
I mean,
okay.
basically, do you find it where like the audience has like somebody that they want to hate more, so to speak? Like
well,
maybe this one isn't as bad as the other character, in the family. Like the mother might be worse than the actual son, the killer, stuff of that nature. I mean,
Yeah.
is that something that you
ye-
might see?
Using Friday the 13th, the series as an example, you kind of feel for Jason midway through, like 3 and 4, because he realized that the kids were just being completely jerks to him, and the whole thing is him getting revenge on stuff. And the whole first movie was his mom just being a good mom, maybe not good morally, but she was being a good mom. And there's just ways to spin it, and watching it from a different viewpoint really changes things when you look at it from like a family dynamic.
Right.
Yeah,
that's good.
she's a mama bear protecting her cub.
Yeah.
Well,
Even in the horrors, they got family aspects.
yes,
connected.
yeah, but her cub is drowned, so she really didn't do that good of a job
He
protecting her
does. He
cub.
does make a good point with that one.
She
That's
tried.
not
She
a lie.
tried.
That's kind of like the fastball pass, and you then go,
Yeah. Well, at least he swung at it.
yeah. Yeah, you guys saw that?
It's all right.
Yes.
He was almost there. Just a bit outside.
Okay. All right. So speaking of awkward moments, how about we go ahead and switch into our game? As those of you who know us here at Cinematis Podcast, we like to play games with our guests and with each other. Which
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, which
Is that why this is going to be awkward?
A little bit, apparently.
Okay.
Apparently. Well, it's family, so you know what?
All family here.
Yeah, we're all family. You know what? These are my unofficial brothers and sisters.
That's right.
I'll let you figure out who's who on brother and sister.
Okay.
Just saying. Just
Oh
saying.
no.
All right. So Adam, I think you prepared a game for us today. Is that correct?
I did.
Oh,
Are you ready for game time?
No.
Yes.
Way to be enthusiastic.
Because your games are
She just
hard.
said no.
My game.
I
Yeah, well.
soiled myself. That's how excited I am.
So I titled this game. Are you ready for this? The family that quotes together stays together.
Wow.
Oh my
I'm not good at titles.
God. We're gonna lose this one.
It's every
Well, you just said the
it's
family
every man for
quotes.
themselves and every boy can.
But he said
Watch.
he said everybody family quotes together. So are we gonna quote together?
Oh no.
You've been trying to get me a quote with you for quite a while.
The
No
rule-
matter how
Roman's
many
just gonna
times I
screw up the
did, It's
quote.
not happening.
Roman
well,
just
I'm
left
looking
the
at
quote.
All right. So the rules are: I'm going to give a quote from a movie. You get a point for being the first person to recognize what movie that is from, and you get an extra point if you can give me the family name of the person who quoted that movie.
Okay.
For an
boy,
example, the quote would be, "I'm gonna catch it in the coat, and I'm gonna smack it with a hammer."
Ooh,
Oh.
What?
me. That's Christmas Vacation.
Yep. And the family.
Oh,
Griswolds.
There you go.
yeah.
And that's
Okay.
how the game goes.
Oh, nuts.
So-
That didn't count?
No, that was an example.
Okay.
Hence the for example.
Shut up.
All right. So there are 7 quotes. So it's best of 7.
That's right.
Okay.
Her first quote. My father is no different than any powerful man. Any man with power, like a president or a senator.
Godfather.
Wait, God.
Okay.
Michael Corleone said.
I said Godfather first.
Yes.
I said
Yeah.
I said
The
Godfather first.
Hey, the game is to mention.
He never said. I gotta say it right after. He said mention the movie, and then we get an opportunity to mention who
Yeah.
said it.
Yeah, the guest listens better than the host,
Yeah, you stole his point.
so he gets two. He
I'm
gets
sorry,
2
what was that?
points.
The Godfather.
There must be
And
something
it's
wrong with my
Michael
Wi-Fi.
Corleone.
I can't. What?
It was The Godfather, and it was a
Michael
Corleone.
Corleone.
Quote number 2. That's why they call them crushes. If they were easy, they'd call them something else.
Oh man, that's the quote sounds familiar. I'm just trying to get the image in my head of the movie.
I'll go with Hail Mary McFly. No.
No.
Now, you got to name the movie first.
Oh, Back to the Future.
No,
Oh.
Say it again.
that's why
kinda
they call them
stuck.
crushes. If they were easy, they'd call them something else.
I know this.
Yep.
Yeah, I know it's right on the tip of the brain, but I'm trying to figure out. God, I know that quote. I probably couldn't tell you who the character is, but I'm trying to remember the movie that it came from. It might help.
If you guys could smell the smoke coming out of his ears.
I know, man. It's just.
Is it My Girl?
It is not My Girl.
Can you say the family name? Like, just do that.
No, that's part of the.
That's extra
That's
credit.
the extra point. What, can you give us a hint?
He's talking
It's a
to a
movie.
character, the main character of the movie.
How about the genre? Let's just say a timetable. Like, is it an 80s film, 90s film?
1985.
Oh, 16
I knew it.
Candles.
Yes.
No.
See, I knew it was something from the old 80s, like the John. Oh man, I was thinking in my head. I was thinking one of the John Hughes films.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know.
That
That is a John Hughes film,
Yeah.
but it was another one I was thinking about, and I was like, God, it had to be one of the two. But
What's
it
the
just
family
felt like
name?
an 80s
The Bakers.
quote, didn't it?
The
Didn't
Baker.
it dripping with 80s?
Hey,
This sounded like an
Hermano,
80s thing.
Hermano, you don't have to give a reaction after
I don't
question.
care.
This is
I'm
gonna be a
having
4-hour
fun.
episode.
This is a game. I'm having fun.
All right.
I'm glad one of us is having fun.
I got a point. I think you're jealous. See, this is the family aspect of it. He's jealous because I got the points already, and he's still sitting at.
Yeah, we got Owen at 2.
What?
I don't think that was a quote.
Allison has 1.
No,
Other
I have
guys got
2.
1. Good-looking guy has 0.
No, 2. Both of you have 2.
But,
Both got the family. All right. Quote number 3. Look what you did, you little jerk.
Home Alone.
Home Alone. Oh, his older brother.
McAllister's. Boom, ba boom, boom, boom.
Oh, not the particular, the family.
yeah.
I was thinking about the actual character name, which was his older brother. But she got it.
She's got 4.
She got it.
All right. Number 4. I just can't take. Sorry, I have to say this because it's all in Southern. I just can't take no pleasure in killing. There's just some things you gotta do. Don't mean you have to like it.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
And what is the family name? That's a good chainsaw noise.
the Troys, the Willikers, the Trimmins,
Willikers.
The
The
Trimmins.
trimmings.
the Smiths,
The trimmings.
the Bedfords, the Broxtons, the
I think we give him half a point for his effort. Maybe
Steel.
that's-
Steel.
What is it?
The Sawyers.
The Sawyers. You get 8.
Oh, come on!
You were
Do
close.
we have a steel button? I didn't know we had a steel. I didn't know we had a steel button.
Well, there wasn't anything to steal yet. I've gotten them all right.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, Roman.
Oh, but Roman got one right. The house hasn't gotten anything yet.
I think he was waiting for that one. He knew you were going to throw that out there.
Now I gotta put an animated chainsaw thing with that noise. All right, quote number 5. Where am I? Oh yeah. If you don't bring those kids back, I'm gonna commit Hare Krishna.
Oh my God! Why is it so hard? I'm usually good at these things. Oh my God! Let me bring these kids back. Oh my God! Hare Krishna. It's a Jewish family Golly, it's right there on my brain, man. Stop looking at me like you're gonna try to steal it. You're not gonna. You
Trust me,
can't. get the
I don't
answer.
want to steal anything on your brain, bro.
You can't. The words aren't formulating on my forehead that eventually you're gonna pop up with the right answer. I don't
Right.
know. I'm stuck off of that one. I'm familiar with the quote, but I'm lost on the film. I'm lost
The
on
hint,
film.
the hint is, the reply is, it's Harry Carey, Mom.
Oh, see, I know that quote. Oh, hold on a second. I'm trying to go on my Rolodex. Goonies.
Yep.
That. Oh,
Family. That's different because it's Mikey. What was his last name? God. Wait a minute.
Sawyer?
No. It's not Sawyer.
It's not Sawyer.
Trimmins.
It's not Trimmins.
No, it's not Trimmins either. I'm
Maybe
close.
maybe it's
I'm
on
close.
maybe it's on the suitcase, on the briefcase.
No.
Samsonite.
I'm thinking about. I'm trying to go back at the end of the movie. The rich family mentions his name again because he says you're looking at the richest family in Astoria, but he says their family name, and I'm trying to remember. Golly, I was just so always focused on the Goonies on their first names, Mikey and Chunk and Mouth, and I couldn't remember the last name. It's I'm gonna have to leave it up to you, Adam. I know it's Goonies, but I can't remember. And once you say it, I'm gonna hate myself for it because I know it. It's in the back of the brain.
Anyone else?
Nope. I can't remember.
The family is the Walshes.
Walsh.
Oh,
that's
like
right.
Brandon and Brenda.
Because right at the end of
Yes.
the movie, when he's about to sign the deed, he says, Walsh, you're looking at the richest family in Astoria. Now sign it. He was such a jerk.
All right. Quote number 6.
Okay. This is where I come back.
Okay.
Wow, this is long. All right. I will be watching you, and if I find out that you're trying to corrupt my firstborn child, I will bring you down, baby. I'll bring you down
Meet
to
the
Chinatown.
Walkers. Meet the Falkers.
Nope.
Oh, come on!
He said, I will bring you down to Chinatown. I thought it was what you said too, because I thought it was Robert De Niro when he said it. Oh man. You gotta say it again, Adam. Repeat it one more time.
I will be watching you, and if I find that you're trying to corrupt my firstborn child, I will bring you down, baby. I will bring you down to Chinatown.
Golly. Oh, I thought the same thing you were thinking. I thought it was. Oh my God.
I can feel his excitement against my leg, dude. It's pretty intense.
But you said Meet the Fockers, isn't it Meet the Parents?
It's Meet
No.
the Parents.
Oh.
And you said Meet the
come
Fockers.
on!
Yeah.
2 different movies.
Yes. It was Meet the Parents because you said Meet the Fockers. Once I called you said Meet the Fockers, I said no. It isn't the first one, which is Meet the Parents. And the family name. Oh God.
I got nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
I just thought of her middle name, Martha. Pamela Martha. You could end that one.
Why did you say that?
We all know what his last name was. So I think
Yeah.
I think that's the hard part. They put so much emphasis on his last name
Her name's going to be Pamela Martha Falk.
that you end up
You realize that, right?
freezing. Oh, Burns.
Burns.
family.
Nice.
Got it. All right. Number 7. Last one.
I've
an idiot.
been cut the last couple episodes by your guests. Pretty much, yeah, I'm the weakest link. This sucks.
All right.
So,
Last quote. He's an idiot. Comes from upbringing. His parents are probably idiots too.
Back to the Future.
Yep.
oh God, she got it.
And what was the
My
family?
flies.
Nope.
Flies.
The steel.
Steal.
No,
Goodbye.
that's
Goodbye.
Lorraine's dad. That's
Oh,
Lorraine's
shit.
dad that said that. That's
Lorraine Baines.
Baines.
what?
He got it.
Baines.
Oh, yeah, Spain.
Lorraine Baines.
All right.
That's right. You were right because it was her father.
Well, I suck.
It looks like
I got one.
Allison and
I
our
was gonna say Back to the Future. She
tied.
got the Back to the Future. I gotta give her credit at that. She hit that buzzer pretty quickly. But I got the family name. Good
All
for
right.
you.
It looks like we have. Oh no. Nope. She got 1 point. 1 point extra.
first time.
Allison has won the game.
Woo!
She has won. The family who quotes together stays together, with its catchy name,
That's catchy.
which means she gets.
I gotta
choice
give it
of-
to Isaac. He kicked ass.
I don't even how many points did I have?
You had like one.
You had
Are you sure? I
Yeah.
thought that was what you
Yeah.
had.
No,
No, he
I
had
think
0.
I had.
Isaac
I
had
have
5, Allison had
Oh.
6, and Roman had 1,
Oh, you did have 1. Look at you.
and so did I.
Yeah.
I lost by 1 point, but you know,
Yeah, it's good.
I
But
can
you're
give
the
it.
you're the guest, so you're the winner, and you got Baines before I did. That's Mazel Tov to you, my friend. So
Thank you very much. I
you
have to
know
tip
what
my.
that means, or do you know what that means?
I think I know what that means.
You can rant about Roman for 30 seconds.
Oh, it's actually about Roman.
Now you
No,
can
you
rant
can
about
rant about
anything.
whatever you
wow.
want.
You
Well,
can
now
rant
you
about the Trimmins if you want to.
If he actually
Okay,
rants about me,
I'm
it's gonna
gonna-
be amazing.
I'm
Because
gonna
he
give you guys.
never-
I'm gonna give you guys an exclusive special rant. Okay, and this is something that has gone back and forth between me and my brother-in-law for so many years, and it is a topic that we continuously discuss, and he never really wants to hear me. Okay, he wants to just kind of put us. So my rant is gonna go on the fact of Point Break.
Time up. Thank
Okay,
you.
no,
It's been 30
this is the
seconds.
Start right here. The Point Break. We had a discussion where I once mentioned that Point Break was a classic film, and then we went into this whole big ordeal about what's classic, what's not classic. Okay, so it's a cult classic. It's still a classic film because to me, if you're gonna make a remake, which was whack, by the way, of that movie, it's got to be a classic film. How many people do remakes of trashy films? Okay, Point Break is a classic for a lot of reasons, and one of them is Keanu Reeves. The other one is Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we get into our main subject, let's take a break and let everyone see where we can be found on our social media.
Ooh.
Sounds good.
And I have to pee.
Okay.
Hey out there in listening land, just a reminder to follow us on social media on the following platforms for polls, games, and behind the scenes shenanigans. We love our fans and thank you for keeping us alive by following us and joining our Patreon. Thank you, and let's keep the good vibes going.
All right. That was a wonderful break. I'm glad everyone got a chance to see our wonderful ways that they can get in touch with us. Very excited. But actually, what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and focus on doing some wonderful things like family and you know, how family in cinema is very important, of course. You know, so we're going to go ahead and just take a minute and really enjoy this process and just have a lot of fun.
Are we really stealing from Wayne's World now?
We are absolutely. I am not below.
Oh, we are
to
shameless.
steal from- yeah. Thank you. But so
I'm not bound by a sponsor.
No. We could quote Wayne's World, which unfortunately it's not a family in cinema, sadly, or otherwise we would totally quote Wayne's World. But let's go ahead and focus on family in cinema. We touched on it at the beginning of the Zoomcast, as I like to call. Adam, it drives Adam crazy when I call it Zoomcast. So Zoomcast. But family in cinema, you know, we talk a lot about it, and we'll probably touch on it in our top fives, you know, who stands out. But family cinema to me is a way, and you guys kind of touched on this, is a way that we can intimately get to know the character without having a lot of deep monologues and without having a lot of maybe fourth wall breaking. You can see maybe by an overbearing mother why the character is a certain way. You can see by a non-existent father why the character is this way. You can see by, you know, the zany cut up brother why the character is doing certain things a certain way. And it's such a wonderful tool to continue to have. Now, when you say families in cinema, Adam did touch on the Sawyers in his game, but is there any horror families that stick out?
Yes.
Allison.
Well, I don't want to go. I guess we could get involved because they're going to be on my list. But I mean, the first one that comes to my mind is the Firefly family.
The Firefly family.
That's hard to say.
Firefly family.
I mean, it's like number one for me. So
Okay. And maybe we should save it for the list because that way we can probably talk into that. You know what? Maybe why don't we just go through our list? What do you think?
That's fine. We can do our list and then go off on it, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Do
We're
we want to
structured.
do we want to redo the intro and just jump into the list?
Nah.
Okay. All right. So because of that,
Professional.
why don't we go ahead and jump into our list?
Well,
All
I'll go
right.
since that was my number 5.
He
All
did
right,
that.
so
He
go-
did that to make it seem like I had to cut there, but I'm not going to cut that.
Nah.
Oh, great. Great. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll just go down our lists and talk about who stands out in terms of families in cinema. So you said the Fireflies. Why exactly the Fireflies? What makes them so strong?
Because
not
they're
doing lists now?
crazy. Huh?
We're not
What?
doing our lists now.
Yeah, that's
We
my
are.
number 5.
Oh, okay. I see
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we're doing.
They were literally my number 5 because they're freaking nuts. Okay, so I know Isaac's not a big, horror person. Have you seen House of a Thousand Corpses or any of those Rob Zombie movies?
Devil's Reject.
No, not really.
Okay,
No.
so basically he took the premise behind Texas Chainsaw Massacre, crazy family, and then, kids come in and they mutilate them, basically. But the family, it's a whole family. So you got the mom and you got the grandpa and you got the daughter and you got the son that's all messed up and you got the uncle, and they're just nuts, but they love each other, right? So you kind of like throughout these films, you kind of feel a little empathy for them because something clearly went wrong in their childhood and made them really messed up. I don't know, you feel sorry for them.
They
You
just
feel
keep
that Mama
passing along to the children,
Huh?
right?
What?
He said something must have happened to them in their childhood and messed them up. And I said, I guess they're just keep passing along to their children each generation.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
they're not blood related.
well,
Oh,
no,
really?
no,
Okay.
but they're all screwed up. But I don't know. But they stick together like family does. So
it's
they
like
love
a-
each other.
That's the family. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a form of family coming.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Psycho family. Yeah, I get it. I
Yeah.
got you.
All right. So why don't we go with our guest next? Who's your number 5?
My number 5, it'll probably be a little surprising, but as I go through, you'll understand why I put them at 5. But I'm gonna go with the McFlys.
Okay.
Okay. My number 5 is the McFlys. I think that, growing up watching, Back to the Future, seeing, what they were going through, how it transitioned from the setting in the beginning, they were just, I guess because of the father, it all started with him,
Yeah.
basically he was just such a wimp and a weenie. He just let people push him around that it kind of followed him into his adult years and then trickled on down to his family, because in the beginning, you notice how his mother was smoking and they looked like they were kind of trailer trash in a way, so to speak, not to be, bad or you understand what I'm saying. It's the only thing I can put in words. My apologies if I
Are you
And
inviting
there
that-
goes our 2 listeners that live in a trailer.
Seriously.
I know I don't mean it like that, but you get the point of the premise
Well,
I'm trying to.
well-
They were not well to do.
Furthermore, because we did actually recently do a program about this, our last episode with Dan. Thank you. And Jameis McFly is shown in part 3, the best.
Or Seamus, if
Who's
you're saying it
Seamus?
right.
Jameis.
Seamus, it's Seamus.
Seamus.
Hey, that's the Western one.
Hi, Seamus. Okay.
It's Seamus McFly.
No, that's right.
Seamus and Maggie.
Oh, that's right. Well, but anyway, so we actually see Seamus McFly, and we see where the McFlys essentially come from.
Yeah.
And so
you do,
they
do.
come from a bunch of weak spined kind of
Chickens.
do your part.
Yeah, but to
They're
me,
idiots.
even though I did enjoy the third one, like you're saying, the Western one, I did enjoy that. To me, I didn't really get a sense of that spinelessness in that one as much, only because they were actually living in the Wild West. This is a different time frame where, if you aren't good with, quick draws, and we're going more into Western movies, which I want to stay on point. But in those day and age, people were getting killed quick. But when you push your timeline forward and go back to like the original first Back to the Future, it's a family growing up in the 80s, and yeah, I mean, he was spineless since he was young, and it just followed him into his family life, and it affected them. And then, you know, towards the end of the movie, obviously, he changes that, and you can see that that whole dynamic changed. They went from that shoddy house and mom smoke, and then all of a sudden, it's a better home, a better living environment. They're driving better cars, and
They're
his
playing
mother's not
tennis.
smoking. You know, they look better physically, like they took their, you know, steps.
All right.
That's me.
I don't-
I agree.
Adam, you-
Wait.
Yeah. Sorry.
Real quick. Go.
Yeah.
I wanted
No,
to add
no,
a
no.
point in part 3 that Seamus McFly wasn't a coward, because he had this whole monologue how he talked about his brother Martin, who kept being called chicken, and it ended up him getting shot, and he decided, you know, don't back down, but don't be an idiot about it. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. Allison, you're about to say, sorry.
I do, because they surprisingly didn't make my top 5 list as much as I love the movies, but I agree that Back to the Future 1, not when they were in the 80s, but when they were in the 50s, it looks like an authentic 1950s family, right? So like the parents were like, I don't know, they seemed unhappy, and then you fast forward to like the 80s and they're clearly not happy being married, they're miserable, right? Like, so people could relate to that family. They just looked like they were in a rut all the time. Like George was always watching TV and no one was paying attention to, you know, everybody, right? So it was like they just
mom
lost
was
that.
drinking and smoking too much.
Yeah, she just didn't care. She was like, "Bleh." So they were clearly both unhappy with their lives. So I don't know. That type of family is portrayed a lot in movies. So
That is true. That is
authentic.
true. That's a good observation. I
All
like
right.
that.
All right. And let's go ahead and go with Adam's number 5, see what he likes. Adam,
My number 5 is the Tidbits.
the tidbits.
No, it's the Sawyers
The Sawyers.
Okay.
from the 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
All right.
They're
I
a
know a
family
good
that
look.
needed to do what they needed to do to survive. They were butchers at a slaughterhouse, and the slaughterhouse closed. So what's the next thing you do when you need to provide for your family?
Slaughter people.
Cannibalism,
There
Yeah.
you go. I'm sorry.
to save
Yeah.
your family.
Clearly.
Clearly.
Yeah. Which, you know, never get in my way if I lose my job.
Okay.
Just saying.
I make sure I keep the distance.
Please do.
All right.
Please do.
And they
Uh,
always make sure, you know, have a big family dinner. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that cannibalism involved in there?
oh, absolutely.
No, not at
That's
all.
it.
No. Oh, you've never seen it. That's right. No,
Yeah, I'm not a big-
it's
not-
really
not a
great
big
because
horror fan.
the grandfather hammers out a lot of things in that film.
Okay.
Anyways, so which
I don't
leads
have
me
really much to say
mine.
about that.
No, maybe they'll come up on somebody else's top 5. Just saying. So maybe we'll talk about them again. Who knows?
I think a
Um,
lot of our top 5s are going to be the same things in different areas.
Maybe. My number 5 is going to be the Fockers. Okay, the Fockers is a good Jewish family from Meet the Parents and of course Meet the Fockers, where you actually meet them. But you see, and this is where I think using families is so great in cinema, because you get to see why Ben Stiller's character is the way that he is. And we lost Allison.
We absolutely
Uh,
lost Allison.
There goes our mama bear. Anyways,
I'm here.
Oh, there you are.
there you are. Are we doing the host review again? Where
I
we
had to
just
let
see
the
the
dog
picture?
in. He was whining. I had to let
Oh.
my family in.
Okay, yeah. Hey Riley, how
Hi.
you doing?
She had to do a reverse Baja Man.
Oh, finally we got a good guest on the show today.
Oh wow.
He's a reoccurring guest.
Okay, yeah, he is. So, anyways, back to the Fockers. So in Meet the Fockers, when we actually finally met the Fockers, you had Dustin Hoffman as Gaylord's father, and of course you had Barbara Streisand as Gaylord's mother. And it was just hilarious to see how they interacted with each other and how they're completely the antithesis of the De Niro's character's family, whose name eludes me. Thank you very much. It was the Burns. Thank you very much. The Burns, completely antithesis of it, and I thought they really pinned it so well to really bring out these characters and bring out the storyline. throughout the characters. Just the room of mild achievements and participation trophies and foreskin and foreskin. Yeah, and that what's the problem with that? And Dustin Hoffman was fantastic in that.
Oh yeah, he's one of my favorite
Yeah.
actors. I mean, I put him up there of all time. But I do have.
But
a
he wasn't in
question.
Point Break.
No, he wasn't in Point Break. That's a shame. I mean, maybe then it would have been a classic.
No, not even close.
My question to you though, just piggybacking off of your family, the Fockers there.
My family.
Yeah, well, the one that you chose as your as your one of your top fives. One of the things that you're saying I can relate to, and the thing that I noticed though is that there's such a yin and yang effect with these two families. You've got the Burns that they're very, very structured and so forth because of Robert De Niro's character, and then you got the Fockers, Dustin Hoffman's character is more relaxed, he's easygoing and so forth. I mean, didn't he quit his profession to be a stay-at-home dad or something like that? And nobody said. But anyway, the point is that I think that in film itself, even when I was, when I write, screenplays, or when I participated in any of the stage theater or films that I did, I do see like there's always some kind of root to it. And I tend to notice like with these family films, when I watch them, it always has at least a little bit of that yin yang effect. It's like the one family's completely opposite from the other family. And like, I think you're right. It does resonate with the main protagonists and why they are the way they are.
Okay. So. Well, let's see where this yin and yang effect continues on. Allison, what's your number 4, my dear?
My number 4 is the Von Trapp family.
Oh,
okay.
Look at that. I was like,
you had a damn movie.
Sorry, it's one of my favorite movies ever. I watched it since I was like 6. I just love it. I always wanted to be one of the Von Trapp children. They sing, they dance, they have matching outfits made out of curtains. They have a hot dad. They get to play with puppets. I don't know. I just like it. And but in all seriousness, like they
By the way, rest in peace.
Huh?
By the way, rest in peace.
Yes. Christopher Plummer. But in all seriousness, they blended their family together. Like once he married Maria and she became a stepmom, then they blended the family, which is a example of, step parents and stuff.
They solved the problem. They solved the problem.
Maria always solves the problem. There's no problem with Maria. She solves the other problem. So yeah, I just love the Von Trapps. So.
Okay. All right. Isaac Benjamin, Benny, what makes your number 4 pick sing?
I'm going to kind of go in a different direction from all the horror, and I'm going to lean into comedy like, my brother-in-law here did with the Fockers. But I'm going to go a little bit older than the Fockers. I'm going to go with the Joffers from the Coming to America. Obviously, they got the new Coming to America 2 that just was released. I had the pleasure of being able to watch that recently, and the continuation of that family essence is even greater in the second film. For those of you that haven't watched it, I'm not going to spoil it. If you haven't watched it and you have Amazon Prime, definitely go and watch it and take a look. It's great. But the Joffers, I mean, it's the comedic aspect. Starting off just with the Coming to America 1. You have James Earl Jones playing, the father. He's going by the old tradition, the King's tradition, and he's just completely oblivious to what his son wants. And then, of course, his son goes out. We all know the story. He goes out. He finds someone he loves and so forth. But even bringing along Arsenio Hall's character, Remy, even though they aren't like, blood related, you still kind of get an essence of that, like two brothers, on this journey. And, one is rambunctious, the other one is more, in line with his goals. And then, of course, the mother coming in, towards the end, you're getting that aspect of where she's saying, follow your heart to her son, which a lot of mothers tend to do with their sons. They play that more emotional role where the fathers are playing more of the logical role until they open their minds up to new things. So Number 4 for me is the Joffers. I'm
Okay.
gonna go with that.
Now, thank you for bringing up Coming to America, because one thing that's always drove me a little bit batty about Coming to America, let me see if I divide the room here. It reminds me of almost a reverse of Fiddler on the Roof, where Fiddler on the Roof, if you remember, it's mainly the daughters who are looking for that soulmate, who are breaking tradition. And in Coming to America, it's the son that breaks it, because a lot of the same platforms, the story platforms that you're talking about, are occurring in Fiddler on the Roof. It's just one of those things where whenever we talk about it, it's you're essentially talking about Fiddler on the Roof. Am I the only one that feels that way, Pam?
I mean, I've
Go
never
ahead, Adam.
never heard it that way, but you're absolutely right.
What?
Yeah.
I know it's a big day, big day.
Did you know that Adam was in Fiddler on the Roof?
You know, I wasn't even
Really?
going to bring that up.
Huh?
Wow.
Okay.
Not the
Yeah,
movie.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I have to agree with Adam. That's a good perspective that I never looked at before that you brought up. So that's a good observation. But I mean, I'm kind of hazy still on the Fiddler on the Roof because I haven't seen it in such a long time. But aren't we still dealing in essence with traditions? I mean, if you think about it, I mean, wasn't that their kind of tradition? You said like the women were breaking the tradition in Fiddler on the Roof the same way he was breaking tradition in Coming to America. So I mean, we're in essence, we're talking about films that also encompass a form of tradition that was being broken, right?
Well, that's another thing that we could always go into, because you're talking about Look Who's Coming to Dinner. You're talking
Yes,
about which is essentially a remake of Look Who's Coming.
But I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
Bernie Mac playing a character.
But that goes down to family in terms of the overall theme that we're talking about.
Mhm.
So real quick before we go into Adam's number 4.
We're still on 4, huh?
Yeah, we are still on 4. So who did you play in Adam? Who did you play in Fiddler on the Roof? Tevye?
No, I did not play Tevye. I didn't have an actual character name, but I did have an integral part during the bar scene when they were singing To Life.
Yeah.
I was the one Russian soldier who stopped the singing with the long ass high C that I had to hold for something like 35 seconds to get them into doing the whole Russian dances. And I had to do that Russian dance. I had to jump over people's heads and do that foot thing on the ground and everything. It was insane.
Yeah, but what did you actually do in the play?
I just told you.
Was it recorded?
Yeah.
I do have it on video. I have it on VHS.
You need to splice a clip right into this video.
Picture it didn't happen.
When you mention it, just do a quick cut to it, and then
I think I have pictures from our scrapbook and the yearbook. I might do
there
that.
you go.
Okay.
I think it's best when you talk about the high C. We get that good photo of you with your mouth wide open. That would be great.
I can't do it anymore. It got 2 standing ovations at the Straz Center.
We haven't heard about your 2 standing ovations since about episode 3.
Well, nothing's had a standing ovation in my life since I was 32. So.
Oh, wow. Yikes. Well. All right. Hey, why don't we make a standing ovation by talk about your number 4?
My number 4, and like Allison prefaced with it, is an odd one. It is the Freelings from Poltergeist.
Okay. Oh, all right.
They're a family that loves each other so much that that the mother and the father have both gone to the other side to save their children.
Mm-hmm.
As any parent would.
Yeah. But they've stuck together through thick and thin, through ghosts and demons and
clowns.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're telling me that a parent would actually go to the other side to get their child, as opposed to just letting the child die and then picking on campers 9 years later?
Yes, they're not Voorheeses.
Ah. Oh, I love Pamela Voorhees. I love Pam. Yeah, I'll stop laying into him. All right, so my number 4 was actually going to be the Sawyers, but seeing that we kind of already talked about them, I'm going to pull a kibosh and I'm going to squash that, and I'm going to go for the Clumps. So
Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
no, I can go back to the Sawyers, guys.
We already talked about the Sawyers.
Yeah, we already talked about the Sawyers, but no, the Clumps. The Clumps from the Nutty Professor series, specifically with Eddie Murphy. Speaking of Eddie Murphy previously, the reason why I feel that really embodies family is it's the closeness of family. It's a quotable family. It's somebody where you can sit at your table and go, Hercules, 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 and you know what you're talking about. It's how supportive they were and how loving, unconditionally loving they were of Eddie Murphy's character. Of course, it really was touching, something that really does embody a lot of great families. How they're always there for you, thick and thin, no pun intended. Screw it, pun intended. Yes, thick and thin.
Thick and Thin is going to be the name of our episode.
Thick and thin.
That's just we've all said it so far.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think so.
It's like, I think, what you're touching on, I can relate to, like the camaraderie, right?
Yes.
That camaraderie of the family.
It helps when you're the same character.
Well played, ma'am. Well played. You gotta keep an eye on you.
I get what you're saying, though.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you kind of. I feel some tension.
I just don't like that movie.
You don't like the Clumps?
What
about it you didn't like?
I don't like that type of movie. Like, I'm not a huge Eddie Murphy fan, but like I just didn't like how he played every character and how they were just, I don't know, that goofy character. It's like a Medea movie for me. I just don't.
I was actually thinking when he mentioned Clumps, I started thinking about like Medea, Tyler Perry, but I have to probably go with Roman on it because I did like the Clumps, and from my, personal opinion, Eddie Murphy shows such talent, and you can see the diversity of, even though he's playing each character, you can still see that diversity in each different character.
Yeah.
And you do feel that camaraderie. And I mean, it's very talented to be able to do that around a table and make it really look like it's each individual person in the family. And then you have people going at each other's throats and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
Absolutely. I agree. Not that many people can pull that off, for sure.
I mean, it was better than Norbit.
Yeah. Norbit was not very good at all. I can't defend Norbit. I watched it, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I watched it. We're never going to talk about it again. Ever. So moving on. So I believe we have, is it my brother-in-law leading off?
No, it was
Allison. Okay, sorry, I apologize. Allison, what do you got for your number 3?
Number 3 is the Addams.
Okay. Oh,
Addams family.
2 D's.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
Addams is. Hands down, like, aside from people thinking they're spooky and stuff, like, their family values and the way they love each other is what every family should strive for. What are you doing?
The second movie was called Addams Family Values.
Oh yeah, you're right. I mean, the love that Morticia and Gomez have for one another is just, I mean, they're infatuated with each other, and they let Wednesday and Pugsley be themselves. They love them, but they don't hover over them like helicopter parents, but they let them find themselves. They bring Fester in as their long lost uncle or whatever. I don't know. They just like adore each other. It's like, and they had love.
They had a huge party just to bring Fester back.
Right.
They invited every single Addams.
Yes, they love to party, and
Which cast do you actually? Are you like, which cast of the Addams Family did you really like?
Yeah, good point. I'm talking about a more what is her name? Angelica Houston, like that cast. Christina Ricci,
Raul Julia.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a shame, because I really liked that cast too. I really liked the how Raul Julia put his imprint on that, and to see him kind of go so soon in the cinema world, it's just and just the world period. I mean, it was a sad thing because I think
Yeah.
he did take that character and make it. But the other thing I was gonna ask when you mentioned the Addams Family reminds me of what's that family? It's an animated one, the Transylvania
Hotel Transylvania.
Hotel Transylvania.
Yes.
It really kind of reminds me of that family. Adam Sandler playing the voice of the main father and so forth.
And it's very similar because he
Yeah.
has a teenage daughter just like Wednesday, and she's
Exactly.
embarrassed of her dad and she wants to find her own. So it's very similar.
I never watched those movies.
Yeah, it's cute.
Good. It's good.
Okay. All right. So why don't you tell us what's good about your number 3, sir?
My number 3 is the Griswolds.
The Griswolds. Okay,
The
I'm not
Griswolds.
familiar with that. What do they belong in?
They belong in everything.
Now we know why he doesn't know what classic is. No, the European vacation,
Yes. Yes.
Christmas vacation. You know what I'm talking
Yes.
about. Okay. Yeah. All right.
But do you
No,
know what he's talking about? Yours?
I don't, for sure.
No, not at all. No.
You've never seen any of those films?
I know. I'm just
The Who now? What family is this?
You know what? I think I forgot. It kind of
Tremens?
lost me.
Why don't you do a one-man show of the first the first movie there?
No, the Griswolds. The reason why I connected with them, one, I love Chevy Chase. He's been such an amazing actor. I've watched him all my life, and the way he has that fatherly presence, even though he's very comedic. He's got that. I guess I'm lost for words. What would you call it? Like underlining. It's not, the comedy's not right there in your face, but it's an
Dry.
like a dry, passive aggressive kind of comedy.
Like someone that just lets you kind of hang yourself and just lets you ramble.
So to speak. But you do get the sense of that. You do get the sense of that real American type family, and that, I think anybody can connect. It doesn't matter where you come from. I think anybody can connect with the Griswolds. And to me, Christmas Vacation has always been my favorite one out of the whole
They made a Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, they made a Christmas.
Oh, really?
Stop it.
You just became Allison's best friend.
Yeah, seriously.
Like her favorite movie of ever time.
I love that.
Ever time.
During the Christmas time, they're gonna always play all these movies, including Christmas Vacation. And Christmas Vacation, I will find myself being able to sit down and watch that one. I mean, out of all the Christmas movies that they put on, I will find the time just to watch Christmas Vacation because I love that movie. It's one you can just watch over and over and over again. And it's the Griswolds. It's the Griswolds.
Okay. All right. Adam, what number 3? What is your number 3, and can you watch that over and over again?
Well, this is awkward. My number 3 is the Griswolds.
I didn't mean to have that transition, but yeah, okay. Victory.
So I can watch, and this also includes the new one, the one with Ed Helms as Rusty. I mean, that movie was surprisingly good and funny.
Mhm.
I wanted to not like it, but I ended up liking it a lot more than I did, and he belongs as another dad. I mean, the Griswolds move on, and I just love. I've loved every single movie, so they're my number 3, and I have nothing else to say about that.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I will say something about my number 3.
The
My number
Griswolds.
3, we're going to get a little bit prehistoric, and we're going to go with the Croods. Are my number 3.
Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Nick Cage.
Nick Cage, one of his better roles, in my opinion. He gets to be zany, over the top, and over dramatic, and he's meant to be Neanderthal. He is absolutely just the whole dynamic of that with you have a atomic family in a prehistoric time period is hilarious. For those of you who haven't seen The Croods, the sequels come out. Fantastic, hilarious, worth watching.
I gotta see that.
Better than the sequel, or better than the first one, in
Original,
my opinion.
that's good.
And the first one was very good. But the Croods is a prehistoric family, the cavemen, and they have family togetherness, but the family's getting divided by an outsider played by Ryan Reynolds, who is bringing new ideas and new way of thinking. And that really shows how the family dynamic is built on just one person's thought process. Well, we lost Adam. Oh, we lost our family member.
He said to keep talking. He'll be right back.
Okay, sorry, I missed
You
that.
didn't see
I
that
apologize.
pop up in the chat?
I missed that.
Oh,
I
okay.
missed that.
All right. Well, now he'll have to cut all this out. Keep talking.
Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So back to Nick Cage, or the closed-mindedness of the family. Then you really have just what exactly their close-knit sense is as they continue to evolve throughout the film, and then of course the sequel. I just found it to be very fun, enjoyable, and not only are they family, but it also showcases their individualisms and what they bring to the table in terms. So it's almost in some ways kind of like the Firefly family, where you have individuals that bring something and make them a family. You have a literal family that have individual techniques that really make the film. Whether it's the daughter who's love struck over Ryan Reynolds. I don't know a single female in my life that's love struck over Ryan Reynolds. Anyways, yeah. So
It's me. I am.
oh,
I watched
Yeah.
The Croods 2 last night for the second time because I really, really like the movie. And it's not because Ryan Reynolds in it. I didn't like the first movie, but the second one is really good. And it's not just because of the Croods, it's because of the new family, the Bettermans. So you got two families in this one, and it's really good with the two different dynamics. But the reason why the Croods are good is because they're in a pack. And like you said, everybody has their own role.
mhm.
And if one person strays from the pack doesn't work as a whole. So
Yeah.
unity.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched the second one. I did watch the first Cruise, and I did like Nicolas Cage's, like you were saying, what he brought to the character. I did like him as Spider-Man also.
Yeah,
that's
he was
that's
very
the,
good.
the Spider Noir. But
Yes,
that's a different.
He was great as Superman, actually, in Teen Titans Go.
Yes, he
didn't-
was. He finally got to play Superman.
Yes,
I didn't get to catch that one, but I'll have
Teen
to check
Titans
it
Go
out.
to the Movie is a fantastic movie.
Yes, thank you. Teen Titans Go to movie.
I got to check that out. But the crew part, I mean, from my remembrance of the first one, everybody, like you were saying, brought their own dynamic. But he was ultimately like the leader of
Yeah.
the pack, like Allison said, the whole time. And I mean, don't we kind of see that in a lot of these family movies where it's
Mhm.
the father is the head of the household.
Yeah.
The father is like the one that guides the whole family, and he's been that way. And it's ultimately, trying to reconvince him
Yeah.
of something different, and trying to open his mind up to something different. And the thing for me is that it continues to work in a lot of these family films, but I would love to see a family film where it's not always the dad being the one that's the stubborn one or the hard-headed one or the closed-minded one. I would like to see something else. And I mean, nothing comes to mind.
Oh, you mean like Monster-in-Law?
Well, yeah, I mean, but to me, Monster-in-Law, I mean, it's not like a large family, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, the last couple families we talked about, Griswolds, the Crews, the Clump, we're talking about, mothers, fathers, children. I mean, Monster-in-Law, you're dealing with a single, only child, mother's only son, and then this woman comes into the picture.
Stuck in her ways.
Right,
Yeah,
stuck in her ways.
had
I'm more like
Latinas. Devils.
You're married to a Latino.
I am a Latino. You're a Latino.
Yeah,
We're
I
Latino.
know, but you're married to. You're talking about my sister, man.
Yes, I know I'm talking about your sister. I married her. I liked it so much I put a ring on it.
Oh my God. I'd like to come back after the list to talk about Monster-in-Law.
But I would
Okay.
definitely like to see the same kind of like atmosphere, but instead of using the father
Mhm.
as the main root, pick a different family member. Maybe it's somebody else in the family that they have to come. Maybe it's the grandmother or the mom, or the aunt that's meddling or something in the whole family that has more control than their own mother and father in the house. Something like that I would love to see.
Okay.
I mean, if there's movies out there that are like that, please let me know, because I probably haven't seen it, but I would love to see something like that and see how that works.
The film Big Hit with Mark Wahlberg. It's the mother who's stuck in her ways, the Jewish mother. Yeah.
I remember that movie.
That creates a whole hilarious comedic. And also, when you mentioned the father stuck in his ways, I was thinking this is a rare opportunity that we can actually bring in the greatness of son-in-law. The greatness of
Love son-in-law.
Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
Pauly Shore.
Where you actually have the dad at the end of the movie goes, "We's in the Jews."
Lane Smith was an amazing actor, and it was sad to see him go. When he talked about movies in interviews, he would always have something amazing to say about all the actors he was with, and Son-in-Law was one of the best movies he said he ever worked on, just because everybody in the movie was just so fun, and he had such a good time doing that.
Which is actor speak for it was not fun at all.
I mean, I not to go off topic, but I do have to say that, I mean, Pauly Shore wasn't on the top of my list. I thought he was okay, but I did really enjoy In the Army Now. Like, to me, if I had to pick a Pauly Shore film that I like, that would be my top one. That was, to me, the most hilarious one he did. I would go with that.
Well, that's just a challenge to get us back on the subject. Allison, what's your number 2? I'm giving these segues like they're on Sale Girls. Yeah.
What? Sale Girls?
Yeah. Just let me roll with it, please. I thought it was a lot funnier.
Okay.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 are the Weasleys.
God damn it!
He caught another one. Another one.
You of all people shouldn't even question you should know my top 2. Yeah, I mean, who didn't want, other than Roman, who hates Harry Potter, if you liked Harry Potter, who didn't want to be part of the Weasley family? Like, they were badass. Bye, Roman. And speaking of a mother or somebody who isn't like the main person in the family, like the father doing everything, it was Molly Weasley, the mother. She's a badass. She takes charge. She will kill for her kids, and she did. And they're just awesome. Right? There's nothing really to say more about the Weasleys. Apparently Adam has them on the list, so he'll add to it, but right? Okay. Were they your number 2 as well?
They're my number 2, yeah.
Okay. Well, we can go right to you for number 2, and then we'll circle back to Ben and then me. So why don't we go ahead and pick up Adam, what do you have to add for the Weasleys for your number 2, sir?
I really don't have much more to add. Molly Weasley is an absolute badass mother. She's the mama bear that you always want, that could stick by your side. And Arthur, oh my God, Arthur Weasley is one of my just absolute favorite characters, period, just because he's so curious, and he loves the world around him, and he just wants to see like everything the world can give, and show his family that, the mundane world is not something to be afraid of. It's something to take in at the same time, as just being magical at the same time. And
like Ariel. So like Ariel.
Yeah. Okay. And they also have they had problems with one of their sons, and they resolved it. I mean, it's not a perfect family, and they were just an amazing family. So there you go.
Okay. All right. Well, Isaac Isaac Benjamin, the person with 2 names.
Oh my God.
So who's your number 2, sir?
My number 2,
like your 2 first names.
The Weasleys.
No. I actually have the Corleones.
The Corleones.
Okay. I was a big.
I was waiting for one of you two to do the Corleones.
Yeah. I'm a big Godfather, all those type of mobster type movies. I love those kind of things. Martin Scorsese style stuff
Okay.
as well. I'm not gonna name all the directors, but you understand where I'm going with it. Donnie Brasco, that kind of stuff. But The Corleones, to me, is my number two. Because you're seeing a lot of transition in the original trilogy
Okay.
of the Godfather trilogy, excuse me, because obviously you start Marlon Brando, you're seeing his presence, the way he carries himself, the way he his family's respected, the way he treats his family, and then as you start to shift into the others, Michael comes along, and you can see the slow transition of how he's kind of in the beginning trying to be like his father, but then he starts to go off on his own, come into his own, and then you can see how he's starting to treat his own family.
Okay.
Up until you get into the third, where he's kind of trying to circle back around, and then you bring in Andy Garcia, which is the illegitimate son of his brother, and him wanting to be in, he wants to be out, and it's just the whole dynamic is just, it was a wonderful, it was just written wonderfully and shot wonderfully, and you get sucked into this family and what's going to happen to who, and his kids and his wife and his brother, so Corleones, to me, that's the number two.
Okay, maybe somebody has them higher. I don't know. We'll have to find out. The suspense is killing me.
Well, that would be you.
Yeah,
but
it would only be you, Roman.
Let's go with my number two. My number two is going to be
the Weasleys.
The Baileys.
The Weasleys.
The Baileys from It's a Wonderful Life, because you can't keep them Bailey boys down.
Why would you choose the Baileys?
Well, hold on now. Just give me a wait a gosh darn second. Hold on. Yeah, that was horrible. Anyway, so anytime I do a Jimmy Stewart impression, it always turns into Norman Bates very quickly. It really does. It really does.
I was getting a Norman Batesy kind of vibe.
Yeah. Of course he was
emitting.
Yeah.
Was emitting.
Oh yeah.
I was about to jump through the screen over into Allison's section, so I could basically be in her place. That's how
she's married. Easy.
I'm not talking about marriage. I'm just saying I sit next to her
okay.
during this whole thing.
Please do. I don't mind.
I could transition.
Allison, I bequeath my brother-in-law.
It was just the Norman Bates vibe.
No.
It was the Norman Bates vibe.
So Bailey, I wish, I hope for that Bailey vibe, and the Bailey straight up is that Norman Rockwell type of painting character family, where you have the dynamic of the mother who is trying to keep her two rambunctious boys in line and keep them focused. You have the father who is trying to manage his Bailey and loan. You have, of course, the elder Bailey, of course, and then the younger Bailey. Throughout the film, they make the film with their dynamic and their family, in terms of George Bailey, who's played by Jimmy Stewart. He always strives to be something that the family is not. He wants to be out there. And he just keeps on coming back to who he is. And he's a good man. He's annoyingly a good man, where it's like, I want to be about me, but I can't do it. And to me, that's what makes family such a compelling subject, because even in the It's a Wonderful Life film, you can see how family can be compelling, because it can bring you back. It can be a tie that will bring you back to who you truly are. You might be a douchebag for a little bit, but at the end of the day, damn it, you're a Bailey.
So some humility.
Yeah. Damn it, I'm a Bailey. That's right. Son of a biscuit. Yeah, sure. Like, if my brother ever needs help, I'm going to probably get annoyed, but I'll still help him, because damn it, I'm family. So that's my number two. So now we're down to everyone's number one. This is really, really, really fun stuff. I'm so excited. Allison, why don't you feed my excitement by giving me a number one?
What are you shaking?
Our number threes.
Yeah, it's the Griswolds. Duh.
Wait, no, we're at number one now.
Yeah, that's my number one. It was your all's number three.
The Griswolds.
Oh, the Griswolds.
The Griswolds was
okay.
number one.
My
Okay.
number one. I mean, you guys all said pretty much everything I would have said. He's your like everyday guy, right? He's the family man. He is the
Yeah.
quintessential family movie man, right?
Yeah.
He loves his
Chevy
family.
Chase.
He wants
Now,
everything to go smooth.
Mhm.
I've always said Roman is Clark because Roman
Mhm.
wants his family. He loves his wife. He loves his kid. He wants to be the best dad there is. He wants to have, family get togethers. He wants everything to be perfect, everybody to be happy. Let me hug you. Let me hug you. If he had this huge house and the capability, he'd have all of his family there for every freaking holiday. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Well, maybe not Isaac. He'd probably not include him, right?
Well, everybody
What?
needs an Eddie.
I was just about to say that I cannot be the Eddie in
Oh,
this situation.
oh,
That's
oh.
just jacked up. Okay? I don't have an RV out front,
That's kind of
Okay.
mean.
and I'm not.
I'll
that
do it.
excited.
No, Adam, I actually love you.
Wow. Yeah, wait a minute. He loved Eddie. Eddie,
Yeah, he loved Eddie to go
crap
away.
out of him, but he still
You
loved
loved Eddie to go away.
him.
No, he loved Eddie. He had
Yeah.
he had a
Got
soft spot
shoes
for
from
Eddie.
Eddie.
Well, you know what
Well, hold on. In family vacation goes to Vegas, Vegas vacation, he loved
Family
Eddie enough
Vacation
to
goes to
ask for
Vegas.
money for Eddie,
Ellie.
Eddie. Anyways, you were saying, go ahead.
No, I would say, it's interesting how we've talked about the Griswolds a lot. We've brought up how Chevy Chase and his dynamic in that character. But the one thing that I haven't heard, and I don't remember the family name. So if someone knows the family name, please remind me, because I haven't seen it in a long time. But the other person that resonates just like Chevy Chase to me was Steve Martin. And I know
Yeah.
he did those Cheaper by the Dozen films.
Oh yeah, I thought you were
You
gonna
know-
say not Father of the Bride.
So was I. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, I like
yeah.
the Father of the Bride, but the Cheaper by the Dozens, that really is like family. There's so
Yeah.
many kids and everything.
If you think those are good, you should actually read the book or watch the original.
well,
Right.
but what I mean is like the connection
Yeah.
is, Steve Martin being a comedian, just like Chevy Chase being a comedian. The way that even though they're comedians, the dynamic they bring to that fatherly role, whether it be in Cheaper by the Dozen or even Father of the Bride, even because I remember those. It's so interesting that the talent that these guys had back in those times, to be able to, they're well known for being comedians, but they could still bring that essence, that father essence, without being too overly comical. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right. Well, why don't be too overly comical by giving us your number one.
Oh, my number one, and it's probably going to be a little bit weird to some people.
Steve Martin,
No,
Father of the Bride.
no.
Okay.
We're not going.
The Griswolds again.
We're gonna go no, because we're gonna go into totally
The
different
Weasleys.
a different genre of film.
Debbie Does Dallas.
That is not a genre.
Always a coming attraction.
Wow, you had to throw that one in there.
Yeah, I had a jam in there.
Okay.
Anyways,
another.
what? Anyways,
This
let's
is why I have
go
a
back.
pop filter, so I can just rub my face on it.
Oh my lord. Okay, my number one.
Mhm.
The Skywalkers.
Okay.
Star Wars saga, the Skywalkers. I mean, anybody that is a science fiction fan, anybody that follows the Star Wars series, the ups and downs, the ins and outs. I mean, through all 9 films, whether you like the prequels or the postals, whatever you want to call them, post sequels,
Sequels.
Yeah, what I mean, I'm talking about the ones, the last 3, that's like after. I mean, the way they put it in play is another story.
Yeah.
But the point is that, I mean, going from anywhere from Anakin to Luke and Leia, to even pushing forward to Han and Leia's son Ben, and up until the end.
I never trusted Ben, frankly.
You never trusted? Yeah.
No,
I mean,
no.
I can tell. It's
No.
in the name, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's what it's in the name.
You
But
just said
and there's
Ben
that-
frankly.
I
Yeah,
mean, they always
yeah.
tend to go to the good. It may take a while, but they end up in the good spots.
I'll wait for it.
Okay. Well,
Please continue.
to me, I like the Skywalker family.
Mm.
It's one of those things to see that whole system in play. You're putting into a film different aspects, because majority of the time when you're talking about families, a lot of these family films that we were discussing, they're all kind of together.
Okay.
And with the Skywalker family, you still get that family dynamic,
Mhm.
but you're putting in factors that even come to play in real life. The children were ripped away from, the
Yeah.
parent. The mother passed away. They hid the kids from the father, and so forth. But then you also play in, Ben Solo, who was being trained by his uncle
Mhm.
Luke, and that's even, he was there as opposed to Luke and Leia being apart from, Darth Vader and so forth. So there's just so many different, points coming in, but you still feel that ride, that family.
Can we just
journey.
agree that the Skywalker boys have daddy issues?
I think so.
Yeah.
I
I was
think
just
so.
thinking while you're talking, I'm thinking Anakin had maybe major daddy issues. Luke had major daddy issues.
No, Anakin had mommy issues because the fact that, he was all about his mother, man.
He did, but the way he was on old Ben Kenobi, okay, that just screams daddy issues.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the loss of Qui-Gon Jinn.
Well, that was Ben's old Ben Kenobi's father figure right there.
Yeah,
Qui-Gon Jinn.
yeah, that's true.
You do know his name is Obi-Wan, right? Not just Old Ben.
I
You know
thought he
what?
said Old
Maybe.
Bay.
Yeah. it was-
Hey, the seasoning.
Old Ben Kenobi. That's
Old
what they
Bay
called him in the
Kenobi
first
on your
one.
crabs.
Yeah, no, that's what he called him. He's like, Old Ben Kenobi.
That
Well, I
hermit's
think,
just a crazy old man.
They're bringing like a Obi-Wan Kenobi series to like the Disney Plus.
Are they?
I think I heard.
I'm not touching that one. I don't want to be canceled.
I think I heard something about an Obi-Wan Kenobi
Yeah.
series coming to Disney Plus.
Ewan
I think
McGregor is already
Ewan-
starting to work out for the role.
Yeah, he's like reprising his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi in the new Disney Plus series or something like that.
Okay.
We'll see if he still has daddy issues in that.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That'd be interesting. I'm gonna
It's
stand
sad because I can't say, man, I really hope he has daddy issues. This is gonna be awesome. No, that's that.
Well, I mean, now that you brought it to the light, I think
Yeah.
we can kind of put a little bit more observation.
Okay.
I'd love to see Hayden come back for like flashbacks and stuff.
That interesting, but I was never really big on Hayden Christensen in that role. Like to me, he was not convincing enough.
That's Lucas's fault. Hayden Christensen is an amazing actor when he's not working for Lucas.
I agree with that. I've seen him in other things, and I applaud his work. But for some reason, when he played Anakin Skywalker, in the two prequels, it just I could not connect, could not see it. I couldn't see it.
Okay.
But that's me. I mean, I don't know.
All right. Well, I tell you what, Adam, who can you see in your number one?
My number one is somebody else's number 5. It is the Fireflies.
Okay.
They are the quintessential closest family that I could ever think of. They're not related. Well, there are a couple that are related, but most of them are not related. Like Otis was picked up on as being a drifter. And Mama Firefly, the actor changed throughout, but that has nothing to do with the story. But the Fireflies just they stuck together. They're always only about family, and even when they're being gunned down by the feds, they're sticking together, and it's just it's a family dynamic that even though they're bad people, you feel really bad about them when bad things happen to them. And I think that's my idea of the ultimate way of showing that a movie family is the best family, is even when they're not the best people and they're in the worst predicament that they could get into, they still stick together and they live and die as a family. So that's my number one.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and round it off. My number one, you know what? A group that live and die as a family. Even if they're getting shot up by the feds, they're still a family. The
Point Break.
The Corleones. No, the Corleones. the Corleones, I feel, when you talk about family in cinema, since the late 70s, mid 70s, you're really thinking of the Corleones. You're thinking of the father, who's the patriarch of the family, the, help me Godfather, on this wonderful day, how strong Brando was in that character, and how the surrounding sons were almost like remora fish to Marlon Brando's Don Corleone's Major Shark, where they were still swimming with him in that remora sense, if you will, also known as suckerfish, for those of you who are Googling remora fish at this current juncture. But anyway, so in terms of family and family dynamic, you're talking about the Corleones, you're talking about the daughter, you're talking about the son-in-law, you're talking about how when the daughter got her ass kicked, how the son-in-law handled the business.
Mhm.
Granted, it ended up to them getting shot up, but
You're talking about Talia Shire's character when she was getting beat by her husband.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
The look on, man.
James Caan.
Yeah, take off your sunglasses. I still to this day I react.
Well, that was her, when James Caan actually played her brother, right? Not her like.
Yeah.
He wasn't a son-in-law. He was
Sonny.
He was son. Okay, I think she said son-in-law.
No.
So Sonny was one of the sons. You're talking about when her husband, the son-in-law, was beating on.
Yes.
Okay, I'm on the.
Yeah, where she's getting wailed the whole time. It's like, call Sonny, call Sonny, call Sonny. Not that I endorse, spousal abuse in any way, shape, or form. Please know it's sick and wrong. And if you have that, please go seek help immediately. So to move on, in terms of just not to rehash what my brother-in-law said, but I mean, in terms of the Corleones just being the number one family in my just because they're iconic. You hear the Godfather music, and you know that this guy is at least the pseudo alpha, at least for the scene. You have that Corleone feel. You have the Michael. You have people that constantly argue, no, I'm Michael in the family. No, I'm Michael in the family. And we all know who that is because of the strength of the Corleones, because of the strength of the family. Michael brings the family into the modern era and their continuous struggles, and he continues to manage. And that's what I think makes the Corleones such a strong, to piggyback off of your reasons before, I didn't want to talk too much about it, but to piggyback off your reason before, I really think that that's what makes them such an iconic film. And you can't mention family in film without talking about the Weasleys or the Corleones.
I agree.
Yeah, nothing. I gave you guys, all right. So, see, ladies, he is hung. Anyway, so that is our list. That is our films. Of course, we want to know a little bit about your list out there in listening land. Please comment down below. Let us know if you agree with us, disagree with us. Are we forgetting anybody? Please feel free to let us know, and we appreciate your feedback. But
where on your list is the Griswolds and the Weasleys?
You talking to Roman?
No, I'm talking to the listeners.
Did Roman have did you have Griswolds on your list?
They would have been my number 6.
Oh, okay. I was trying to see if there was one family that made everybody's list. Way to go, Roman.
Yeah, well, sorry, guys.
Way to be a team player. Way to be part of the family.
Well, I think because when you say Griswolds, I think Clark Griswold, unfortunately. And then when I stop and think, I think about the mom, but I can't tell you her name.
Well, you know what wasn't mentioned?
Scout. I know she's referred to as Scout.
I'll tell you a family that nobody mentioned. The McAllisters.
The McAllisters.
They're
really shitty parents. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why you don't mention McAllisters.
They keep forgetting their youngest.
Not once, not twice. Fuck.
That brings up a good point. Like, we're sitting here talking about good families, but I can list like a couple of movies that drive me crazy because it's not a good family dynamic. And the McAllisters are a perfect example. They're just, I think they just had too many kids and they're just too self-absorbed. But the movie, and I talked to Adam about this. I think I brought it up on the show before. But Meet the Parents is a horrible movie as far as family dynamic goes. And it makes me so upset. And you can also say this with Monster in Law, but specifically Meet the Parents. She allows Ben Stiller's character, Gaylord Fokker, to be humiliated and to be teased about being a nurse, a male nurse. And the whole family was just horrible to him. And she's just like letting it happen. And movies like that bother me. Same with Monster in Law. Like he knew that his mom was kind of going to be a jerk to Jennifer Lopez. And he didn't like give her a heads up. He didn't like protect her. He didn't go to bat for her. And that kind of stuff bothers me because I feel like the girl in Meet the Parents should have stuck up for Gaylord and said, Dad, I really love him. Who cares that he's a male nurse? Who cares that he comes from a Jewish family? Who cares that he's not as, wealthy as us? Leave him alone. And that kind of, when movies like that happen, like it just irks me because that's not real life, or it shouldn't be real life.
And
Well,
it's
that's
like-
why. Yeah,
And-
go ahead, Adam. I'm sorry.
it's funny that you say that because even the super evil monstrous daughter in the movie Get Out was like, I kind of like this guy when she talks to her dad. He's like,
Mhm,
be nice to this one. And
mhm.
even though it was a fake out, I mean, she was nice in front of him. And that's something that you didn't see in Meet the Parents.
Okay.
No.
Well, let's roll with this. Before we get off the subject and get into grilling our guest. Speaking
There
of
was something.
it's okay. Yeah, we're actually going to participate in cannibalism. We're actually going to eat you.
So
Yeah.
hence the horror movies.
Yeah.
actually.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
preparation.
Absolutely.
It's preparation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
You're mentioning
There it
going
is.
into Allison's house. I'm going to be shipping parts of you to Allison for her to enjoy.
I was,
Yeah,
I was
Old Man
talking
Season.
through the screen.
Oh no!
I wasn't talking about being,
You're
like,
you're a
chopped
gift
up
that
and
we'll enjoy all season long.
Nailed.
Yeah, nailed. It's man.
Clarice.
Anyways, so why don't we talk about before we get off the subject? Maybe people that have a different family take or bad families in films. I know you touched on Home Alone. Is there any other films that kind of reach out where it's like, they're kind of a shitty family?
The only thing that kind of came to mind, but I wouldn't say I wouldn't be on the same path as what Allison was saying, but one that came to mind earlier that I wanted to bring up before and was, I don't know if anyone's seen Four Christmases with I
Yes.
think it's Vince Vaughn and
Reese
Yeah.
Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon. Thank you. And to me it was interesting. To me, I feel like it's kind of a family film because they are forced to go to each other's families, and obviously both their parents are divorced. So you're talking about 4 different families that they have to visit, and it's like they were, for so long, they were avoiding their own families. And I mean, I don't know if it's because in their minds they felt like their families were horrible and they didn't want to bring the other person around, but having to confront that. And then, of course, I think wasn't Vince Vaughn's brothers played? One was played by Jon Favreau, and they were all wrestling and all the time and making fun of him and bringing him down and so forth. But I think it's kind of like what Allison was saying. But instead of bringing down Reese Witherspoon, which would be his significant other, they're bashing on him.
Okay.
So it is kind of a horrible setting as well when even though in Meet the Parents, he's getting bashed on, and she's not standing up for him. In this one, she's seeing how his own family is bashing on him, and seeing that dynamic. I think it travels along even with her when she goes to see her family. So I would, Four Christmases is probably a good one for
That
me.
is a good one.
Yeah.
No, that's
All
a
right.
really good one.
Adam, I love to hear your insights. Are there any films that miss the mark in terms of where are the opposite of what we're talking about? Before we get rid of this subject and put it to bed, if you will, are there any bad family dynamics that really stick out?
I honestly can't think of one. When you guys were talking about it, I can't really think of one. No. I'm at a loss for words at this one. I don't. This subject did not hit me. Not the bad family subject did not hit me right. I just can't think of any. You got me at a loss for words, Roman.
What?
Yeah.
Did I just witness something new here?
I'm done. Thanks, guys. No,
Cinematis is
Yeah.
over, ladies and gentlemen.
all right. When I was thinking about it, the first thing that came to mind, to be honest with you, was Ricky Bobby.
Oh God.
Now, but his family was meant to be very
Waterboy?
disorderly. Yeah.
Water boy.
No, Ricky Bobby.
Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights.
Yeah,
Talladega Nights. Thank you. Sorry, I
Yeah.
got the wrong one. My
Yeah,
apologies.
in fact, all of the families that are used in Will Ferrell movies are terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Talladega
really
Nights,
are.
Step Brothers. I mean, they're all just like
Oh,
bad
Step
families.
Brothers. Oh man, that's horrible.
Maybe that's his root. Maybe that's
Yeah.
his root dynamic. for
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
Boats and Hose.
Yes, Boats and Hose.
So there you go.
So-
Will Ferrell movie. That's my answer.
Yeah, but no, the Kristen Stewart Christmas film that we reviewed.
Yes.
Good
Yeah.
holiday.
Happiest season.
Yeah, that was.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
She sat there and let her family make fun of her, or not
Yeah.
not even make fun of her. She was scared to tell her family that she was a lesbian and that was her girlfriend, and she played it off that it was her roommate. Like, I don't
Which
understand
one
why
was
these people are scared of their families.
Which movie? Which movie is this one?
Happiest season. It was on Hulu last.
You're not
Christmas.
missing much.
Oh no, I didn't get a chance
You-
to catch that one.
You have yourself a constitutional and watch us roll down the toilet, and it was actually better than the film.
Yeah,
That's-
there's about 10 minutes of good movie in it, and it all involves Dan Levy.
Well, Eugene Levy's kid, whose name always
Dan
Cam Levy,
Dan.
Dan Levy. Jeez,
Oh,
Dan Levy's kid is the reason to watch it because he's hilarious.
Dan Levy's kid
But-
doesn't exist yet.
Huh?
Dan Levy's kid doesn't exist yet.
Oh shit! Eugene Levy's kid, Dan.
Eugene
Yeah.
Levy's kid, whose name is Dan Levy.
See what happens when you don't bang a pie?
Oh,
Okay, thank
yeah.
you.
Okay.
Thank you. But I mean, even in American Pie, the family dynamic is awesome. If you think about it, and the father justifying every complete crazy hijink.
Oh, you're talking about
Oh yeah.
Hey, Allison,
How's-
what about
okay, yeah.
the family in American Beauty?
Oh boy.
That's a whole nother podcast, which you can catch up on, as I was a guest on Psychosocial Cinema, where I went extensively into American Beauty.
No.
That
wow.
family is so messed up. They get their own episode.
It was a fantastic episode too. It was very.
You know what?
engaging.
You know what was also a fantastic episode, Adam? The episode that you did with the other two ladies.
Oh,
Can you tell us a little-
pop culture junkies. Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah. And you can catch me on this podcast.
Maybe one day
Yeah.
Rowan will be a guest on somebody's podcast.
No. I'm basically the Kevin McAllister of this group. Let's be honest.
Aw.
That's right. You're really good with
sadly.
traps.
Have you met my ex-wife?
Oh.
No, because you're really good with traps.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyways, so let's go ahead and make it a little bit less awkward and talk about. I believe
We're
Allison
gonna talk.
has.
We're gonna talk to Isaac, and we're gonna ask him our questions, our hot questions.
Okay.
It's called 3 in the Seat and 3 on the Street.
Ooh,
Seat
This-
meaning movie themed questions. Street
Okay.
meaning any kind of questions.
Okay.
So don't worry, they're not scary. Okay. Question number 1. If you
I
could be
wanted
any-
to be scary. She didn't
What?
take any.
Excuse me, sir, what are you saying?
I said I wanted them to be scary, but she did not take any of my suggestions.
Scary?
Yes,
I don't know what that means. Scary.
completely blow this guy out of the water.
No, we ask the same questions to every guest, you fool.
Kibosh.
Fool,
No.
you fungo.
No. Okay. If you could be any film character, who would it be?
If I could be any film character, that's a good question.
If you don't say Point Break, it's not a classic, dickhead.
Oh,
Brody. Brody.
Oh my god.
Come on,
Brody,
Johnny
not
Nebraska.
Brody.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
No, you know that's difficult. That is a difficult question because
Come on,
I mean,
Nebraska.
I've watched movies across all different kinds of genres. I think one that comes to mind, I don't know why, but I really like Judd Nelson's character from Breakfast Club. That one just, I mean, maybe
John Bender.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, it's just that maybe I just, because I grew up with those movies or and whatnot, but I would probably pick that one off the top of my head, just
The Criminal.
Can you do a little, put your fist up?
Yeah, you get the fist pump. The fist pump.
All right, I like it.
It's just, he's just straightforward. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
He's just straightforward, especially when it came to Molly Ringwald's character. And I think that's what ended up connecting them. So, I mean, I'm a very straightforward kind of person. So I think that's probably why I connected with that.
All righty. What is your favorite movie snack?
My favorite movie snack. Skittles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta go with the Skittles.
Whenever we go to the movie theater and I say, "Hey Isaac, I'm going to go buy you something. What do you want?" He goes, "Can you give me some Skittles, please?"
Skittles.
Yeah.
He sounds just like that.
Yeah, he does that voice
Yeah.
perfectly.
He sounds like Grunk from
Yes.
Croods.
Can you give me some Skittles, please? Now, in my head, he's very Zoolander-esque. Can you give me some Skittles, please? Yeah.
Blue Steel.
Oh, absolutely. Please continue.
All right. If you can have a hall pass with any actor or actress, who would it be?
Define the hall pass.
Like a sex hall pass?
Like full on, yeah. That's what a hall pass is.
No, that's why I said define a hall pass. Like,
Probably someone who looks like his wife.
no, I mean, so you're saying it's like an intimate.
Yeah.
Yes, because I know how respectful we are to your wife. Why don't we just say having a nice, wonderful.
Okay. Who's your movie crush? Is that better? Is that safer? Is that PG?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Because when you said hall pass, I'm thinking like somebody that I could hang out with all day long, and then I would have definitely said Al Pacino. He's my favorite. But if you're talking about, I didn't want to just blurt that out. People go, really? I don't know. It's kind of weird. No, celebrity. Okay, if you go with that celebrity crush kind of thing. Wow, that's I don't know. I mean, they've kind of changed over the years and so forth. Man, that's hard. That's hard.
Al Pacino.
No. No.
I normally don't do this, but I guess maybe this one time.
I would, I think probably if and I'm gonna halfway cheat here. If we're talking about physically, I probably would go with like Sofia Vergara, just based on her physicality, her humor.
As long as she keeps her mouth shut, right?
Yeah. I do like her in a lot of the movies and stuff, especially like Chef. But ultimately, I think the one that always comes back around all the time, no matter what, is Charlize Theron. I would probably choose Charlize Theron. I've always had like a little thing for her throughout any time period, going all the way back to The Time to Kill, Devil's Advocate,
Reindeer Games.
2 Days in the Valley.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's just there's something about Charlize Theron, she's got an appeal that is not just physical, but also like I would love to pick her brain on her career and everything. So
She was really hot in Monster.
I like that one.
Yeah.
The teeth got me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When
Only
you
time she
go.
wasn't hot.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's starting to squirm with the idea of Monster. He's doing a little bit of
Should I
Elvis Presley.
went with Holly Berry and Monster Ball? That would have been a little bit of easier thing, right?
Make me feel good. Anyways.
That might have been a real sure thing. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Anyways, so Allison, what else?
All right. What is your favorite smell?
My favorite smell is definitely not this guy. My favorite smell. It is, and I don't want to sound corny. I usually say it's my wife, but it's because she wears this amazing Coco Chanel perfume, and I don't know, to me, I got to go with that.
All right. What is a song that you will always jam out to?
Oh my God.
Chicken fry.
No.
Cold beer on a Friday night.
No.
Pair of jeans that fit just right.
You're throwing me off here, man. I'm trying to think of one, and you're just putting stuff in the bucket. I got to get one of my own. Let me think. Oh man, I'm a big I grew up a lot in the 80s and 90s, and there's just so much good music. I'm trying to think of one that will pop. I don't know. You've been around me. What's something that usually that's
Well,
popped up?
you constantly jam out to the Point Break soundtrack.
Well, we're back to the Point Break again. Let's stick to the.
It's such a classic
question.
film.
Let's
I mean,
stick
why
to the
not
question.
just go from?
Let's stick to the question.
I mean, let's see. When I think of Isaac Benjamin, he actually listens to a lot of country music. That's why, as much as I was joking with Zach Brown band,
That's because
Chicken Fry.
That's because we went and saw Zach Brown.
Yes, we did.
I'll tell you one that I would jam out to, because they were one of my favorite.
Oh, this man on karaoke, for the record, folks, always picks the slowest, most like nerve-wracking song to completely kills the mood.
I'm good with the ballads. I'm trying to get people on the dance floor, with their loved ones. I'm a big.
He sang "Unbreak My Heart" by Tony Braxton, for Pete's sake. No one's going to.
Tony Braxton.
What's the point?
Okay.
Some Meat is Murder by Morrissey.
Yeah. Yes. My girlfriend's in coma.
I would definitely. I mean, one of my favorite groups growing up was Queen. I love Queen. I love Freddie Mercury.
Not a surprise.
So I would probably rock out to. You take a pick of a Queen song. I would definitely rock out to one of those.
Yeah.
Don't Stop Believing, Journey. Definitely gotta do that. That's another one of my favorite bands of all time. I mean, I'm very eclectic with music, and across the board. U2, but Queen was, a lot of their stuff I would probably jam out to. I couldn't say one specific, but definitely I would have to just say Queen in general.
I've always respected for Queen. Yeah.
Not bad.
Well,
Nice.
respect royalty.
All right, last question. Easy. This should be easy peasy. Favorite sandwich?
Favorite sandwich? I would go Roast Beef Club.
All right.
Okay.
It's a
Very nice,
classic, like Point Break.
I'm surprised you didn't say that.
That's gonna be the top rant right there.
You should have said meatball sub, because that's what they
Beef,
get
I
at
love
Point
roast
Break.
beef.
Yeah,
Remember?
Now I want a meatball sub.
Mm.
that's a
Meatball.
good one too. That's a classic.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Cubans.
Get me
You
hungry.
can't go wrong with good Cuban. Just saying.
That's a cult
Because you're
classic.
Cuban?
Yeah, I am. Thank you.
From Tampa.
That's why I think that's why that's a cult classic, not just a classic.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Well, we'll have to agree to disagree. But that's our show. Sir, thank you very much for joining us sincerely.
My pleasure.
Does this mean that I get the envelope back now that I had you on?
No.
Shit. All right.
Sorry,
well,
Roman.
folks,
We'll see.
Code Green, which we talked about previously, guys. Code Green. Anyways, no, but guys, thank you very much for having us on.
Thank you.
We look forward to have you on other days if we want to talk about, nonsensical movies that
Sounds
no
good.
one enjoys at all.
We'll
Cult
be certain-
classics.
Cult classics.
cult.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Sandlot.
No, Lost Boys is not a cult classic. Sandlot's not a cult classic. It's a
I'm
classic
just,
film.
throwing stuff out there for you. I think you just don't like Keanu.
I like Keanu.
I think you're a Keanu hater. Maybe that's what it is.
We're gonna do a whole episode on My Own Private Idaho.
Yes. There you go. Just actually, I'm down for that. Why not? Let's do it. You know what? I nope. I think we should do a whole episode on Knock Knock. Thank you.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
The movie you guys made me watch.
Well, hey, The Man of Tai Chi actually is a fantastic Keanu film.
I've seen that.
I love that film. It's actually very underrated,
Very good. It
and it's
is.
directed by Keanu Reeves.
I think of one of his ones that's underrated is 47 Ronin.
Okay, yeah,
I mean, I was kind of blown away by that. I wasn't expecting that when I sat down and finally watched it. It took me a long time to watch it because I was kind of on the fence with it. And then when I actually sat down and watched it, I was blown away.
I was going to say the movie's like 98 minutes. It took you a long time to
No,
get
I,
through 98
not
minutes.
get through. I mean, it took me a long time to decide to actually watch it.
Okay,
Like I would watch the trailer and go,
Yeah.
I don't know. And I would just, I put it to the side for a good long while. But then when I actually sat down and watched it, it is definitely underrated.
so you put it aside and then you went for it.
I
huh?
went for it.
Okay.
I went for it.
High five. All right. Well, thank you very much for having us on or joining us and for being on our podcast.
It's
We
been
are
my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You will always be part of the Cinema Madness family.
Oh, look what you did.
I
See?
know.
why no, there's got to be separation. No. I married his sister, not him.
Get what the baggage comes with,
And this is baggage. This is
Okay.
baggage. Yeah.
Think of me as the Fockers.
I definitely think of you as a huge fucker.
Yeah, I know.
You
I'm just gonna
are.
leave and let them just keep talking. It's like the Odd Couple.
Yeah, definitely odd. Definitely
It
odd.
goes on and on and on.
Mhm.
Pretty much. Anyways.
All right.
so-
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right. Go check. There you go. All right. Well, yes.
I don't, Adam. You're on this side. I don't.
I'm over here though.
Remember, was it the Demolition Man?
Yeah.
There you
Mellow
go.
He
greetings.
doesn't.
Did anybody figure out the 3 seashells?
No,
Well, there was actually an article about that where the producers talked about the 3 seashells. It's actually quite fascinating. You should look it up.
Send it to me.
Okay, fine. Anyways,
Bye, Allison.
Bye.
Guys.
bye guys. Great seeing you.